Yeah, so I decided that I would come together and kind of check this out and kind of make a video to really explain what exactly the system is. The system is not a system for groups of people, it's for individuals. You have to accept change within yourself first before you can go out and change the world. You can't go out and change the world and not have changed yourself. Obviously, there's a lot of people that have grand and glorious ideas for changing the world. And I think that in our own minds, we all know what needs to be changed. But the thing that is the most important is changing yourself. If you change yourself, you help the world out because you stop the world from having to endure any problems that you yourself would bring to the world. So that's the best change that you could possibly make, you know what I'm saying, to self. So this system is all about changing self and finding you a woman that's interested in the greater work of building the pyramid, you know, of coming back into the absolute under the polarity of energies. And that's obviously what the system is for. This system is not for, you know, megalomaniac ideas of grandeur where you think that you're going to go out and change everything and everyone, and a lot of people, they tend to just continue on in this thinking, and they end up getting themselves in a lot of trouble because they put something on the plate that they're not ready for. And the greatest work, and then they find out that the greatest work is yourself, and they find out they've got 100 flaws, and then they have to go back and go through those flaws. And we see that a lot in politics because you have a lot of people that want to run to be the president, but when they get up there, they find out that they've had all these flaws in their past, and it keeps them from doing that. When if they would have looked at themselves first before they had the idea of running the country, then they wouldn't have never ran in that game. So you have to be careful what you wish for. You know, Joshua said that seek the Father first and everything else will be given to you. And another thing that is very important to remember is that you can't use a higher system that's for spiritual elevation and use it primarily for a physical means, because obviously you're going to fail at that, because this is to bring people up into a higher consciousness. This is not to you know, be Alexander the Great or the Genghis Khan, or, you know, people that have had these systems in the past. It's not made for that, you know. It's made so that you could be a better person, and you being a better person, you can help people in your community see that you're a better person and they can become better people. That's the kind of help that I'm primarily talking about. I'm not speaking on, you know, a megalomaniac idea where you think, you know, that you can use this form of system to be the world emperor, because obviously that is a flawed system. And if it wasn't, then you wouldn't have had the Persian Empire, you wouldn't have had the Roman Empire, you wouldn't have had the Greek Empire, you wouldn't have had the empire of Nebuchadnezzar, the Babylonian Empire, which was the greatest probably, because they actually had a dietary system as well as a physical system as well as spiritual practices that they all use in order to elevate society as a whole. And that's what made them great. So, but, you know, and in the end, it's the individual. You cannot change another person. I can show you the water, but it doesn't mean that you're going to drink. And I think that a lot of people that run around trying to save the world encounter this, you know. They find out that, you know, that the world never needed their system because obviously the people weren't elevated enough and their spiritual progression isn't far enough to be changed. So that's just a few thoughts on that.